Hi friends, so I would want your complete attention for the next 5 minutes. Do you think it's possible? Well, if we have to believe the research papers, it says that only 50% of the our mind is focused on the task at hand. The remaining 50% of the time, we are either overwhelmed with information, distracted, confused. So, why is being in the present moment so difficult for our mind? All of us know that the joy lies in being in the present moment, but why is it so difficult for us? Scientists of Harvard conducted a study in which they gave option to around 100 people from different countries to either be with their thoughts for 15 minutes, which they rated as plain, boring, and not pleasant at all. The other option was to get an electric shock. They rated the experience of getting an electric shock also very painful. But when they were given an option to choose between being with their own thoughts for 15 minutes and getting an electric shock, they chose getting an electric shock over being with their own thoughts. Now, why is being with your own thoughts so difficult for people? Maybe the pain of being with their own thoughts is even more painful than the electric shock. Many of you who would have tried to be in this jungle of your mind for a few minutes, you'll realize that there are a lot of different creatures and different wild animals which come up when you want to sit and observe this jungle that is inside us. How many signals do you think our sensory organs? We have these 5 sensory organs of sight, hearing, touch, smell. How many signals do you think these neurons send to our brain every second? It's around 11 million. And how many of these signals do you think our brain can process? It's just 80 bits. 80 bits of information is processed by our brain every second. So the remaining 99.994 bits of information does not even get processed by our brain. So we as human beings have devised a very good method of dealing with processing of this lot of information. We try to multitask, in which we can process multiple things at the same time. So we would be answering emails, eating food, watching television, all happening at the same time. But I believe most of you will agree that if so many things have to fight for just those 80 bits of information that our brain can process, it would be very difficult for the brain to actually process all of that together. And many a times we have realized that multitasking leads to a lot of issues, especially in terms of stress, in terms of reducing productivity, letting more mistakes happen in work. So do I suggest that you stop multitasking altogether? You can't and you won't. What you can do is something which is very simple to do, which is being in the present moment completely, and this practice is called mindfulness. Many people come up with these thoughts that we know that meditation is very good, mindfulness is very good, but it's not possible for us to keep our mind at a single point or observe a single thing at a given point of time. So what I have realized in these years of meditation is that whatever you would try to resist will always come back and it will persist. So instead of just getting distracted by too many thoughts coming to your mind when you are sitting for meditation, Just be like an observer. It's like a stage. Your mind is like a stage. There are different actors which are coming and performing their tasks. The easiest way to get into started into meditation is by observing your breath. Now, you will say, what is so special about breath? We breathe about 15 breaths in a minute. That makes it around 20,000 breaths in a day. What is special about the breath is that with each incoming breath, there are around 37 billion cells in your body which are getting what they want. And with every outgoing breath, those 37 billion cells are taking out what they do not want. Do you know that the network of these vessels in our body are so intricate that if we take all these vessels and tie them together into a single rope, that would be around 60 miles long. It can go around the earth twice. It is that big. So the power of the breath is huge. With each breath, a lot is happening inside our body which we are not even aware of. So what has mindfulness got to do with communication? Well, it has got to do with everything. Considering that our mind processes so many thoughts in a second, there is always one story after the other which keeps running in our mind. Now, when we give a little bit of gap between two stories to happen, we are able to listen to our own stories and to listen to the stories of the universe. That means that many a times there's a lot of self-talk which keeps happening in our mind, that I'm not good enough, I cannot do that, oh my God, so many people are watching it. But when we give that little gap between two thoughts to happen, a lot of stories of the universe will start coming to you and you will become a very good communicator, a very good person. So all the best. Thank you.